Dear Dorian, dear shareholders, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the entire Brenntag SE, I would like to warmly welcome you to today's annual general meeting. The annual general meeting is the forum we use to update you, our valued shareholders, about the development of Brenntag SE. In particular, we will outline our plan for the onward course of your company, a plan which seeks to secure the company's success well into the future. And I'm also looking forward to hearing your questions about our strategy and your feedback on our performance. At the annual general meeting around a year ago, we came together in the hope that we were on the home stretch in terms of battling the COVID pandemic. But to be perfectly honest, it was not possible to be certain at that time. So it's wonderful that we can now say the worst seems to be over. Of course, I realize that the consequences of the pandemic are still tangible, first and foremost for everyone personally affected. But I'm thinking of social effects on education, participation, or personal development, for example. They're also noticeable, not to mention the economic consequences. Now the worst is over. Well, how we would love to soon be saying the same about the war in Ukraine. But unfortunately, more than 16 months after Russia's assault on Ukraine began, the prospect of peace is remote. And here too, it is obvious that those personally affected by the war will continue to suffer from its consequences for a long time to come. This applies most especially to those people living in Ukraine. And here I'm thinking of our Brenntag colleagues and their families in particular. And this war will continue to shape politics and the economy across Europe and beyond for a long time to come, even if it can someday be ended, as we hope. Ladies and gentlemen, the consequences of the pandemic and the geopolitical and economic disruptions caused by the war in Ukraine have significantly influenced our work at Brenntag in 2022. Global supply chains remained tight and strained. The tough restrictions in China in particular have challenged companies in the chemical industry, us included. Worldwide shortages of container capacity and labor have disrupted global trade processes. Alongside this have come massive price hikes and sharp rises in energy prices, especially in Europe. Our customers try to adapt to the situation as best as possible. As in 2021 already, their focus was on the risk of a breakdown in supply chains. And in response to this concern, they built up their stock, and in some cases to a considerable extent. Towards the end of 2022, improved reliability of supply and expectations of lower prices caused companies to be rather hesitant about placing new orders. And instead, they opted to use their available stock. Balancing supply and demand in this dynamic situation was one of our biggest challenges in the year 2022. When distributors find themselves in a situation as difficult and often uncertain as this, one thing is of overriding importance: delivery reliability. And I'm talking about delivery in both the literal and figurative sense. And I'm proud to be able to say that Brenntag delivered in 2022. At all times, we were able to serve our customers all over the world. And at the same time, we were also able to deliver to our owners and the capital markets. We achieved a record result in 2022. And I will give you more information about that later on. Ladies and gentlemen, Brenntag represents operational stability and reliability combined with economic success and a simultaneous dynamic advancement of the company. This combination is the secret to our success. It is exactly what enables us to overcome challenges, weather crises, and at the same time ensure growth and our further development. This secret to our success is brought to life by the around 18,000 people who work for Brenntag. It is only with their commitment and achievements that we are able to rapidly respond to changing conditions and find creative solutions. And I would like to thank all of them for that. Reliability and dynamics. This is a combination that makes our business model both successful and resilient. There are primarily three factors that underpin our reliability. First, it's Brenntag's global reach. This gives us flexibility in procurement and as such is a major guarantor for our ability to deliver even in a difficult market stage. Then second, our long-term customer and supplier relationships are built on trust. Thanks to this established cooperation built on trust, we are able to maintain access to scarce products even in times of crisis, and that too secures our ability to deliver. And thirdly, the wide range of products and services we offer in our two strong business divisions. We develop dynamically by acting early to identify and anticipate changes in the market and, most importantly, in the requirements of our customers, and then responding with the right answers. And also because, and I'm happy to repeat it again, we can rely on our people at Brenntag. Both characteristics, reliability and dynamics, benefit our customers and partners. However, they also benefit the company and its owners, by which I mean you, ladies and gentlemen. And I will explore that in more detail later on. Let me start by taking a look at Brenntag's operational development in the past financial year. In 2022, Brenntag increased sales by around 28% compared to the previous year to an impressive euro 19.4 billion. This growth was accompanied by a significant leap in profits, with operating gross profit increasing by almost a fifth to 4.3 billion euros. The operating EBITDA, as you know, is the key indicator for the management of the company. And this increased by around 32% on the previous year to 1.5 billion euros. To translate growth in operating gross profits into a disproportionate increase in EBITDA, that is what we committed to achieve, and that is exactly what we delivered. Brenntag SE sales have increased by around 65% since 2020, with an EBITDA growing by 97% over the same period of time. Our two global divisions, Brenntag Specialties and Brenntag Essentials, contributed equally to this remarkable success through excellent performance and largely organic growth. As expected, Brenntag Specialties grew more rapidly than Brenntag Essentials. We got off to a solid start for the 23 financial year. Compared to the historically strong opening quarter of 2022, we succeeded in keeping group sales and operating gross profits stable for the first quarter of 2023. Given the very strong performance for the same period last year, this is a rather pleasing development and saw us significantly improve performance in comparison to the closing quarter of 2022. The Brenntag Group continues to expect an operating EBITDA of between 1.3 and 1.5 billion euros for the entire 23 financial year. The environment remains challenging. We continue to expect geopolitical uncertainties and further macroeconomic challenges. However, we expect the pace of inventory destocking to slow over the course of the second quarter, which should lead to slight improvement in demand in the second half of the year. Ladies and gentlemen, looking back, we can see that your company, your Brenntag, is on track for growth. This growth represents us living up to our ambitions as the market leader and also to our ambition to shape the development of our industry. This ambition applies equally to Brenntag's role on the capital market. We want to be at the top here as well. And above all, we want to create value for our shareholders. Those who acquired Brenntag shares at the start of January 2020 will receive a total shareholder return of 65% on the reporting date of 14th June 2023. The total shareholder return includes the share price development as well as the reinvestment of the dividends paid out during the period under review. This figure represents a top performance within our relevant peer groups on the capital market, and we are really proud of this. But it does not make us the absolute top. In other words, there is still potential for us in terms of total shareholder return, and we want to leverage that potential. This intention is reflected in our dividend policy. Since our IPO in 2010, Brenntag has increased its dividends year on year. And 2022 is not to be an exception. At today's annual general meeting, the Board of Management and the Supervisory Board will be proposing a payment of a dividend of 2 euros per share for the 22 financial year. This is a significant 38% increase compared to the previous year. We also announced our first share buyback program in March with a volume of up to 750 million euros, and the program will be running until March 24. Together with the proposed dividend payout, it means that we'll be channeling over 1 billion euros of capital back to our shareholders. We already outlined this program on the Capital Market Day that took place last autumn. The foundation was laid at the previous annual general meeting almost exactly a year ago by means of resolutions adopted on that day. This clearly indicates that this is a planned, carefully prepared decision which we are communicating transparently and which we are now implementing in a structured manner. Ladies and gentlemen, acting in a planned, structured manner, clearly saying what we are doing and doing what we are saying. This, and only this, is how sustainable values can develop. And this is what we are aiming at. And we are convinced that we can best maximize value for our owners and many other stakeholders if we are the leader within our industry. Not in the short run, but in a sustainable way and on the long run. In order to achieve that, we have defined a clear plan. And the plan is summarized in our strategy to win, which we presented to the public last November. Even the name of this strategy embodies our leadership intentions and our will to win. We are now implementing this plan in a consistent and structured manner. In this context, the strategy to win forms the second phase of our comprehensive transformation journey. The first phase, so our project Brenntag, began 2 years ago, and we concluded it successfully at the end of last year. The focus of the first phase was on implementing the new operating model with the creation of our global divisions, Brenntag Specialties and Brenntag Essentials, as well as a clear customer segmentation. We also optimized our global site network, and in addition, we implemented measures aiming at boosting productivity. Well, Project Brenntag involved some ambitious earnings targets. We were aiming for an additional annual contribution of 220 million euros to the operating EBITDA. We achieved this goal at the end of 2022. In fact, we unambiguously surpassed it, securing an additional EBITDA contribution of 249 million euros. And furthermore, we completed Project Brenntag 1 year earlier than planned, in spite of the COVID pandemic and the consequences arising from the Ukraine war. We achieved all this with total expenditure, that is, operating expenses and investments made in the context of Project Brenntag, of just half the forecast amount. So we promised and delivered. And we did so faster, at lower costs, and more effectively than expected. This achievement speaks for itself. And I would like to say a big thank you and chapeau to all who contributed to it.
Meine Damen und Herren, Project Brenntag.
Ladies and gentlemen, Project Brenntag laid an important foundation on which our company was able to build improved, sustainable, organic earnings growth. And at the same time, this growth helped us to create leeway, capacity to make the necessary investments in Brenntag's future viability. The implementation of our shared service center, the further improvement of security at our sites, and the expansion of our IT resources and skills are just 3 examples in this context. If we were to look at these investments solely from a reporting date-specific balance sheet-driven perspective, they could exclusively be counted as additional cost items. But in fact, these are items which we're using to make the company better, more stable and secure, and above all, more sustainably profitable. As I've said already, our strategy to win is set to build on what we have already achieved with Project Brenntag. It will accelerate growth in our 2 global divisions. And what is more, our strategy to win defines how we're going to shape the continued transformation of Brenntag in the areas of digitalization, data and excellence, and it also encompasses our sustainability and M&A strategy. So as you can see, it is a clear, comprehensive and ambitious plan for Brenntag's future. And it's underpinned with equally clear and ambitious growth targets until the year 2026. For the group, the expected annual organic growth in operating EBITDA is 6 to 8%. For Brenntag Specialties business division, the expected annual organic growth rate for operating EBITDA is 7 to 9%, and for Brenntag Essentials, the projected annual organic growth rate for operating EBITDA is 4 to 5%. Transformation in the areas of digital, data and excellence should generate an annual EBITDA effect of 200 million euros by 2026. The target earnings and cost savings are key measuring points for the success of Strategy to Win. At this junction, please allow me to highlight the fact that Brenntag is unique in our industry in terms of making such clear, measurable and tangible medium-term targets transparent. We are pursuing our strategy to win in just as determined, structured and dynamic a manner as we did our objectives under Project Brenntag, and that is precisely why we will continue to deliver. I am really sure of that. And I can be confident of that, not least because we ensured that the Brenntag team was fully and actively involved in the development of the strategy to win from the very outset. The employees gave their input and we incorporated it into the further refinement of the measures to be taken. And that is why these measures are supported by everyone at Brenntag. Ladies and gentlemen, in our Brenntag company vision, we set ourselves a challenge. Namely, we want to shape the future of our industry. When we look at the current structure of our industry, it is pretty clear to us that the chemicals distribution market in its current state does not meet the needs of customers or suppliers. There are more than 800 different providers. This causes an inefficient degree of fragmentation and unnecessarily complicates procurement and logistic processes. A consolidation is inevitable, and we at Brenntag want to drive and shape this consolidation. After all, that must be our claim as the world market leader.
We have proven that we are the right party to fulfill this task. We have implemented more than 30 M&A transactions over the past 5 years, and this speaks for itself. Strategic mergers and acquisitions will continue to be a driver of future growth for us. For that reason, we want to increase our M&A expenditure to an average 400 to 500 million euros each year, and thereby expand our position as a leading consolidator within the industry. We will take a very disciplined approach doing this to pursue this objective, guided by clearly defined criteria. Those criteria include, for example, requirements stipulating that mergers and acquisitions must improve our existing portfolio, must expand our position in key markets, or accelerate our global growth in the field of life sciences. Our M&A pipeline is looking healthy with some 300 opportunities. But, to quote what my fellow management board member Christine Neumann said in an interview with the Börsenzeitung financial journal, not everything is suitable and not everything makes financial sense. Above all, a transaction should add value. At this point, I would therefore like to mention Univar and say a few words on this. Once we started looking into acquiring that company, it became clear that the risk-reward profile would not meet our requirements. As such, and therefore, we ended talks at an early stage. We arrived at that decision based on the criteria we have developed and within the framework of our strategic alignment. I want to say this very bluntly and clearly, because some of you may have read or heard that third-party opinions or even external pressure apparently brought about a change of heart in this matter. That is not what happened. Ladies and gentlemen, we at Brenntag shape, we decide, we implement in a methodical, structured and transparent manner. And the same applies for DiDEX. DiDEX stands for Digital Data Excellence. We are using this program to drive the digital transformation of the company. Brenntag is radically changing from the ground up to become a data and technology-driven company. And here too, we are a pioneer within our industry. But this transformation is not an end in itself. Taking this step will enable us to further improve our performance, our quality and our efficiency. We want Brenntag to be the best networked, most agile supply chain partner within the industry. To put it in simple words, we want to be the company that is easiest and the most seamless to do business with. We are cooperating with the best technology companies in the world to implement the transformation. Our partners include Salesforce.com, Workday, and Project 44, the world's most innovative platform for information availability in the supply chain. By combining the technological proficiency of our partners and our distribution expertise, we are also becoming beacons for digital transformation in our industry. And we're already setting the pace here. Just 6 months before the rollout of the first applications in the pilot regions, we began collaborating with Salesforce, and more will follow very shortly. We are also expanding our digital customer platform, Brenntag Connect, and we are improving and accelerating our processes. Brenntag is gradually becoming a more data-driven and digital company, and we are going to make significant investments in continuing this process. We expect these to total around 350 million by 2026. Ladies and gentlemen, As I said before, at Brenntag, we want to be the partner that customers and suppliers find easiest to do work with and to do business with. Put simply, that means to be able to deliver, to offering the simplest possible access to products and services, acting in a clear and transparent manner, and, furthermore, responding to individual requirements. And it also means speaking the same language as our business partners and being closely aligned to their requirements. Here again, we need that Brenntag combination of, for success, reliability and dynamics. Being structured into two global divisions is representative of this reliability and dynamics. Brenntag Specialties and Brenntag Essentials each operate with a clearly defined independent profile and are equally clear and an equally clear strategy for their further development. Each of them takes into account the specific requirements of its respective core customer group. Brenntag Essentials is the flexible, efficient distribution partner for industrial chemicals for a wide range of industries and areas of application. Brenntag Essentials offers the unique combination of local presence and global reach. We are close to the customer, and we can offer the economies of scale and reliability of supply facilitated by being a global procurement organization. And none of our competitors can do this in quite the same way. Brenntag Essentials will further strengthen its distribution network and optimize delivery capacities on the last mile. At the same time, the division will improve its global expertise and worldwide procurement capacities by means of market intelligence and the expansion of global terminal capacities in strategic ports. Brenntag Essentials will remain the undisputed market leader and distinguish itself through even stronger growth and greater efficiency. Brenntag Specialties is focused on the worldwide expansion of our market position as the leading supplier of specialty chemicals in 6 selected focus industries: nutrition, pharma, personal care, HI&I, material sciences, water treatment, and lubricants. These focus industries are major, globally relevant sectors. And the customers here attach great importance to a comprehensive product portfolio, to services, and a distribution partner who can handle complexity. Brenntag Specialties can fully utilize its strengths here. We have a network of, meanwhile, 83 innovation application centers spanning various customer industries. We have diverse insights into the markets, and we have numerous strategic partnerships with global suppliers. The division will expand its range of value-added services further and strives to offer the most comprehensive and most sustainable portfolio possible. It will expand its global presence, focus on high-growth customers and industries, and move forward with targeted acquisitions. These and other measures will address the performance gap at Brenntag Specialties. The division can, must, and will make better use of its potential. We will keep being committed to working on this. This promise holds true. At this point, I would like to welcome Michael Friede as the new COO of Brenntag Specialties. He took this position in April 2023, succeeding Henri Nejade, who played a key role in the development of Brenntag over many years and is now in retirement. Welcome on board, Michael. Ladies and gentlemen, both of our 2 divisions are already market leaders and both have a clear plan for their strategic development and for being successful and remaining successful. We have paved the way for the 2 divisions to be more operationally independent. In the short term, our focus is on addressing the current challenges of further strategically developing our business, closing the performance at Brenntag Specialties, and to vigorously drive forward the operational structure in both divisions toward greater independence. Ladies and gentlemen, as management, our job is to sustainably increase the company's value. We have a clear plan to do so, and we are working on implementing that plan by taking the right actions at the right time and at the right speed. We are creating sustainable value for you, our owners, by continuing to increase the company's profitability and thereby laying the groundwork for our continued positive course. For our customers and suppliers, by connecting both ends of our value chain with our complete solutions for a high-performance, stable and efficient distribution logistics system. And also for employees and for society. And at this point, I would like to mention our future sustainable Brenntag strategy and vision, which we launched in April 2022. It sets an ambitious ESG agenda, which includes achieving net zero emissions by 2045. We want to manage our portfolio with a stronger focus on sustainability criteria. And we want to embed and will embed sustainability more firmly into our supply chains. A central component of sustainability and responsibility for us is the health and safety of our employees at Brenntag. We have set ourselves the goal of an accident rate of less than 2.0 and a goal of preventing all serious accidents by 2030. In 2021, this rate was still 3.1. In the reporting year, it fell to 2.7. Also, the third component of ESG is we make governance a high priority. Our continuing improvements in this area have been recognized in the governance scorecard ranking published by the German Association for Financial Analysis and Asset Management. Brenntag was ranked among the top 3 of German publicly listed companies for 2022. In addition, we were awarded the EcoVadis Platinum status last year, meaning that this highly respected sustainability ranking has evaluated Brenntag in the top 1% of rated companies across all industries. This is a huge achievement for our team, and we're all very proud. Ladies and gentlemen, the combination of reliability and dynamics is our way of securing and increasing the company's value in the long term. Allow me to mention a couple of principles which I am personally guided by as CEO of this company. Always meet your commitments. In other words, we must deliver what we promise. But it also means that we only make promises that we can keep. For Brenntag, that means that we want to build on our leading position. We want to grow, and we know how to do this. That includes making tough decisions and taking risks within acceptable bounds after careful consideration and with a clear plan and the according monitoring processes. Ladies and gentlemen, moving forward in a structured way, making a plan for action and communicating clearly, these should be our characteristics. The same applies to our dialogue with the capital market and with you as investors. Clarity also includes not shying away from honest assessment, taking criticism on board and integrating ideas and suggestions into the decision-making processes. We've done this in the past. Criticism and suggestions by capital markets representatives have been a crucial element of Project Brenntag and our strategy to win. Moreover, we developed these programs specifically in response to justified criticism of the previous positioning and performance of the company. We also take on board and address other points and comments that we receive. It's part of our task as a management board in this respect to bring together different perspectives and interests of the stakeholders, always in connection with the aim of ensuring sustainable development of the company. And here we must maintain a balance between the short-term and the long-term interests of the various investor groups. Listen, understand, and act. These are the steps that we will continue following to keep making improvements at Brenntag. For me, this triad means that we will continue to intensify our dialogue with the capital market. We must, want, and will provide even greater clarity on our plan and its implementation. In all frankness, I must say that in the past we apparently did not deliver on this point, as we claim to have done, and this will change. Before the summer break, we will provide an initial insight into the further development of our operating business structure. In addition, I would like to draw your attention to our next Capital Market Day in autumn. There, we will present a progress report on the further implementation of our strategy to win. And we will also explain in detail how we are carving out a distinct, revitalized market position by means of the two independent operating global divisions and what conclusions we draw from this for the future structure of Brenntag. Ladies and gentlemen, before I conclude, it is my greatest honor to recognize the service of Doreen Nowotny, chairwoman of the Brenntag Supervisory Board. Doreen Nowotny has been on this board shaping the path for Brenntag for more than 13 years, serving first as a member and since 2020 as chair. As already communicated 3 years ago, she will be leaving the Supervisory Board at the end of this annual general meeting as planned and at her own request. Doreen, on behalf of the entire Board of Management and on behalf of myself personally, many thanks for your work over the years. The constructive support and oversight provided by the Supervisory Board over the years have played a crucial part in ensuring that Brenntag is now so well positioned strategically. Distinguished shareholders, business partners, friends of Brenntag, ladies and gentlemen, reliability and dynamics. The combination of these characteristics is the Brenntag recipe for success. It has been heavily tested by the last 3 years, full of challenges, and it continues to be our guiding principle for successful structure. I'm really looking forward to working towards this future together with my colleagues on the Board of Management and more than 17,000 Brenntag employees. We deliver. That's our promise. Thank you for listening.